Hi everybody, Des here from All Things Spiritual here in Ireland. I wanted to do a video for you girls out there regarding how to spot a potential attacker or potential sexual predator. Okay, so these are what I've compiled are 7 rules or 7 things to look out for regarding your own safety when you're dealing with other people. Okay, especially men. Sorry guys, I love you to bits, but this is for the girls. Okay, so 7 things to look out for when you're maybe walking home at night, whether you're in a car park on your own, in a bar, supermarket, whatever the case may be. Okay, so 7 things that you might want to look out for. Number 1, you ready for this one? You weren't expecting me to say this. Watch out for the use of charm. Okay, if someone comes up to you out of context and is super charming, super friendly, super nice, it's a method of them to get you to drop your guard. Okay, people who are charming usually want something from you. They either want to be liked by you or want something from you. A guy might charm you to get your phone number. Okay, in the right context, that's really nice. In the wrong context, the use of charm can be a big telltale sign of someone wanting something from you or is deliberately trying to get you to drop your guard. So watch for the use of charm out of context. Number 2, when someone tries to what's called force team. Okay, they try to force teaming on you. That's where they say like, oh, we have a plan here. Oh, we are great friends, aren't we? We are in this together. Or we are going the same way. Hey, what about us? When someone tries to force a team on you, okay, force a connection, are we not friends? I thought we were friends here. It's a forced teaming. You don't want to be my friend? I thought we were in this together. When it's out of context, when someone tries to make a bond with you, they have an instant connection or a connection that's longer than the context that you're speaking to them. Watch out for what's called forced teaming. Someone deliberately trying to get you as if we're a team, we're in this together, okay, to create a bond, to create trust. So watch for forced teaming, okay. Number 3, when someone typecasts or labels you, okay. So example, if I say, oh, can I have your phone number? And you go, no. I go, oh, don't be cold-hearted. Don't be one of those girls who say no to every good guy out there. Don't be a bitch. Okay? So if someone labels you something, you might feel the need to say, okay, I'm not a bitch. Okay, here's my number. If someone labels you, it's usually a mild insult that you have to kind of counter. And they usually get you to do that by labeling you. Oh, don't be one of those horrible girls who say no. You're not one of them, are you? And you might go, well, no, I'm not, but, So if someone typecasts you or labels you, simply pretend you didn't hear it, okay? Don't react to it at all, okay? Don't let it in. Don't feel the need to analyze it or interpret it and go, oh, I don't want them thinking I'm a bitch. I don't want them thinking I'm cold. Okay, maybe I should. If someone labels you or typecasts you, pretend you didn't hear it, okay? Number 4, if what's called loan sharking, okay? Or unsolicited favors. Hey, here, let me carry those groceries for you. Oh, I'll get that door for you. I'm after doing this for you. Oh, there's a guy in your garden. I got rid of him for you. If someone does a favor for you, that's used as currency against you. I did something nice for you. Now you've got to do something nice for me. Okay? It's called loan sharking. Things to remember when someone says, I did this for you. Why don't you do this for me now? I bought you a drink. Why aren't you going home with me? I bought you a drink. Why don't you give me your phone number? You get the gist, okay? So if someone does a loan shark or an unsolicited favor, just remember in your head, I never asked, okay? You approached me and I never asked for help, okay? So that's number 4. Number 5 is when someone approaches you with a story and gives too many details, okay? Why do people use too many details? Okay, if I'm trying to get your trust, I'll come up with a story. So I might come up to you, say in a bar, and I might go, say, "Hi, how are you? I'm Des. I'm from Ireland, and blah blah." Yeah, I was with a friend of mine now. He's only over from Canada, and he's got a girl, and she's from Australia, and we're after doing this and details. It's literally someone saying, "Watch over here while I do this." This usually happens in corridors, in car parks, where someone walks with you. Okay, and takes you out of the context of where you are to get you to focus on the story. Too many details. Look here, while they're escorting you somewhere. So you may be in a car park, for example. A stranger comes up to you and starts giving you a story. You go into a lot of details. Why do they go into details? Because a liar knows he's lying, and he doesn't think he sounds credible. To you, you're just listening. But to the liar, they know they're lying, so they feel the need to give lots of details. So if someone's telling me a yarn or a story and escorting me, say, for my car, or just walking with me, or can I walk with you for a minute and just tell you a story and details, look over here. Watch out for that. It's a distraction technique. It's what a magician does. Look over here while I do this. Okay? So if someone goes into a story that I don't know them, it's out of context, why are you telling me all this? That's a red flag. Okay? Number 6. The unsolicited promise. Okay, that usually happens when we are suspicious of someone, or we're a bit skeptical of who they are. So you might have a guy maybe say, walk you home. Okay, I got this far. And any guy goes, are you going to invite me in for a drink? And you go, well, I don't know. And you go, oh, I promise I'll just have one drink and I'll be gone. I promise you I'll be out of your hair in 1 hour. I promise you. If people start promising me things and I haven't asked them to promise, that's a red flag. Okay, the unsolicited promise kind of tells you what they are intending not to do. If I say, I promise I'll have the car back for you in an hour, it's not going to come back in an hour. If a guy says to you, I promise I'll have one drink with you and I'll be gone, he's telling you what he's intending not to do. Okay, so beware of the unsolicited promise. Here's a big one, girls. Okay, this is my final one. Okay, and I bet you've never thought of it this way until I say it. Okay, have you noticed, girls? When no becomes a negotiation, okay? You might say to a guy, no, and the guy will give you every reason under the sun why to do what he's bidding. So he might say to you, can I have your phone number? And you might go, no. And they go, oh, come on, I'm a good guy. Why don't you go for a drink with me? Come on, just give me the first 3 digits, and I promise Okay? So when no isn't heard, how many times have you personally sitting there at home in TikTok land or YouTube land, had a guy come up and ask you something, you've said no and it hasn't been heard. Okay? If you say no and it hasn't been heard and they start negotiating with you in the wrong context, bye-bye. Not good. Okay? So when no becomes a negotiation, that's a big red flag. You haven't been heard. Remember, guys, no is a complete answer. You don't have to explain why it's no. You can just say no. End of. All right? So be aware, the 7th one, when no becomes a negotiation, walk away. And one of the biggest things I find, because I come from a security background before I became an actor, before I was a well-being life coach type of thing, I worked in close protection security, okay? And one of the things when I interviewed people or females for close protection jobs or security jobs is that, a lot of the females had the fear of not wanting to come across as being rude or offensive, or to sound like a bitch. How am I supposed to tell this guy he can't come in? I'll sound like a bitch or whatever, So guys, I'm going to give you a little acronym on what bitch stands for, okay? So don't be afraid of being rude or being offensive or being a bitch, because if you spell out bitch, B-I-T-C-H, it says, boys, I'm taking charge here, okay? I'd rather you be safe and come across as being a little bit rude than not being rude and not being safe, okay? Remember, your life, it's your rules. If you don't want someone in your company and you specifically say, no, back off, and they might feel it's rude, well, that's their issue. They shouldn't have come near you in the first place. Look, there's context to everything I know, but you will get that feeling. I will do a video on how to trust your intuition. But they're just some 7 rules that you need to keep an eye out for, some 7 red flags when it comes to dealing with strangers who could be potential attackers or potential sexual predators or whatever. Okay, so remember, if they're too charming, if they're forced teaming, use things like we and us, we're in this together, we're friends, we're typecasting you. Oh, you're not a bitch, are you? If they label you and you have to try and find the reason not to be that label. If they loan shark, if they do something for you and expect the favor back, I did this for you, now why aren't you doing this for me? Oh, I did this, I helped you here, why are you being so rude? Okay, that's loan sharking. 5, too many details, to go into too much stories, too much details in the story, to try and distract you, to get you to listen while they're escorting you or doing something else, modus operandi. Number 6 is the unsolicited promise. I promise I'll be gone in a few minutes. I promise I'll be out of your hair. Promise one drink with me. Okay, watch for the unsolicited promise. 7, when no becomes a negotiation. If the no has not been heard and it becomes a negotiation, you need to get away. Okay, best defense, don't be afraid to offend, don't be afraid to be rude, and don't be afraid to be a bitch. Take charge of the situation, okay, and use your intuition. Okay guys, a few hints and tips there for you. Great to see you guys, great to talk to you as always, and keep safe. Remember, your life, your rules. Be happy.